Alright, how's it going? So I mentioned the 4 great fights coming up. Starting with, well, not starting with in terms of dates, but the first one I went over was Rodriguez against Estrada. Great fight. There's since been a couple more fights that I consider great as well. Just yesterday I heard Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz might take place, or will take place, as long as Virgil comes through his fight this weekend, which he should. Yeah, I don't think he's fighting anyone of note, but yeah, that's another great fight to add to the list. So there's 5, and then there's another good one. I think it's Sabriel Matisse, I mean, something like that. The where's that guy from? I forget where he's from, but you know what I mean. The 140 pounder, Matisse, undefeated. He's going up against the Aussie fighter Liam Pyro, who's coming off a stoppage win over Montana Love. Impressive performance. But yeah, to get into my next great fight, which might be a bit of a surprise, this one, to people as a great fight. I'm calling it a great fight. But it's the fight between Canelo and Munguia. Yeah, I don't think many people consider this a great fight. And some people are disappointed, that Canelo didn't go with Benavidez. And I'm a little bit disappointed in that as well. Of course I want to see Canelo Benavidez. But with Benavidez, I consider Benavidez a light heavyweight. Benavidez is a big guy. I've said this before on my channel. Benavidez should be at 175. He shouldn't be at 168. He's a big guy. He's the size of Bivol. Well, he's bigger than Bivol. He's bigger than Beterbiev, which is, on my list as one of the great fights as well. Bivol and Beterbiev. I might do that video next. But Benavidez, he's a 175 pounder. He should be up there. He shouldn't be competing at 168. So the fact that Canelo hasn't chosen him, I don't care. I don't hold that against Canelo, because Benavidez is draining himself to get down to 168. He shouldn't be in the division. He's a weight bully, in simple terms, weight bully. But Canelo Munguia, why do I consider this a great fight? Well, Munguia is undefeated, for one. He's undefeated, he's young, he's Mexican, which is relevant for this fight because it's against Canelo, who is most definitely the face of Mexican boxing, probably the face of boxing in general. But Canelo is definitely the face of Mexican boxing, and has been for the last 10 years. For the last decade, Canelo has been, the fighter in Mexico, the number one, the face. So you could say this could be a changing of the guard sort of fight. If Munguia can get the win here over his fellow countrymen, he will now be the face of Mexican boxing. He will take over as the king of Mexico, so to speak. So there's a lot on the line for him. There's a whole lot on the line, you know. This is life-changing. I mean, anybody that beats Canelo, it should be life-changing. But, you know, we didn't really see that for Bivol, because maybe because he's Russian and promoters don't really want a Russian as their, you know, their main fighter in their stable. But everyone gets behind a Mexican fighter, and like I say, these guys are both Mexicans. So you know, this could possibly be, excuse me, this could possibly be a changing of the guard. Like I say, if Munguia wins, he's younger than Canelo, so he's going to have that, well, he should have that determination to take what Canelo has, take his position as, like I say, the king of Mexico, or the king of Mexican boxing, you know. So there's plenty for Munguia to get up for here. I feel like in the past, Munguia, he seems sort of a relaxed guy, you know. You know, I don't know, maybe it's just the way he looks, but he seems to be a pretty relaxed, casual sort of guy, which I think may have resulted in some inconsistent performances. But when he steps it up, you know, he's a handful. He stopped John Ryder in his last fight as well. He stopped John Ryder, which Canelo couldn't do, if you want to look at a common opponent. But then again, Canelo did drop Ryder early in that fight. Could have got him out of there, but didn't. So can't really take too much away from that. But the point is, you know, Munguia, he stopped Ryder in his last fight. This is, you know, so he's proved himself to a certain degree. He's beat Liam Smith, John Ryder, and a couple other decent names. No big wins on Munguia's record. But listen, he's a big guy. He's bigger than Canelo. He's younger. He wants what Canelo has. On the flip side, you know, Canelo is probably looking at Munguia like, I'm not going to let this young buck come up and, you know, take my position. So Canelo wants to hold on to what's his. You know, two Mexicans getting together, it should be a war. Munguia is not the type to take a backward step. He can take a back step just like Canelo can, but both of these guys come to fight. So, you know, I'm expecting the best Munguia to turn up. And like I say, Canelo, he doesn't want to let this young guy take his position, so he's going to turn up as well. And yeah, we might get a Mexican classic here, you know, a war. For prediction, I don't see either guy getting knocked out. I'm going to say, I think it's close. I think this one's really close. I'm going to say Canelo by decision, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a really close fight. Because like I say, Munguia, he's not going to give Canelo an easy fight here. He's not going to just run around the ring what Charlo did, you know. He's going to step to Canelo. He's going to fire back. Like I say, pride on the line in this fight. And yeah, I think it'll be razor close. I'm going to edge Canelo, you know, 7-5. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if Munguia pulls off the upset here. But we'll see. Yeah, that'll do it for me. Like I said, I don't think it's a a fight many people see as great, but I think it'll turn into a great fight. A war, you know, both guys want to win. And so yeah, looking forward to that one. Let me know what you think.